for the set of Smart Omega, just something that I've noticed recently is that Cavs is an absolute being in search and destroy. Hardpoint, on the contrary, a bit of a sloppy run. But hey, I think, switching the roles between him and Kendi might just do the trick here for Smart Omega.
Let's see if or not that is something that they do focus on a little bit later on in terms of switching the roles. We can expect Smart Omega to make those tactical decisions. We know their coach is no slouch, and he is known to be one who's open to such changes on the battlefield. We've seen Whoopi go from the guy who holds onto the outside rotations on those SNDs as well as hard points. One point you had this guy anchoring, at another point he was playing the objective. Any points you kind of throw Whoopi into, he usually walks away the biggest Batman, but nothing can match up against the evil from the Batman within DVK himself with the lineup of Epochs, Asif, Wadu, and whenever Oro and Bench step up to the plate, you can expect some magic out there, Warden.
Oh yeah, I mean, parametering players as well for Set Dovik. I mean, they have every factors that could back things up here inside a hard point. So I think it's all just going to come down to the gunfight as well. And at the same time, with Dovik and Oblivion, quote unquote, might not even have a coach. There's gonna be a bit of a lowered expectation for me on what they can offer inside of their bags in regards to like the rotations, the strategies, and how they position themselves right around the objective points inside the game. But hey, come again, open for changes here. After all, this is the last and final day, and I know for a fact these boys here are pretty hyped up because we got to see them put up a match up against Smart Omega during the previous round of Garena matches as well.
If DVK can do the impossible, take a 3-0 versus Smart Omega today, perhaps they stand a chance in the tiebreaker and to make it into the knockout stages. It would, of course, be the biggest shocker of the group stages. But to think that Smart Omega would drop such a crucial series is quite tough as well. But we've seen the unthinkable happen before to this very specific team. Takeoff, Tunisia, as well as Standoff, the 3 maps that they'll be playing in a little bit. And Takeoff thus far is a map that Smart Omega has not explored much within the group stage.
Wow, forcing Standoff up against Smart Omega. And we all know Standoff Smart Omega is not the best face for Smart Omega. And it's going to get forced by Dovik and Oblivion. Pretty interesting as well. And, looking at the run for Takeoff, we haven't really seen anything as well from the side of the SMO, aside from Dovik and Oblivion playing this one up against EZR, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm pretty excited here to see what's going to happen.
I mean, Smart Omega is great on standoff control, 100% win rate thus far. Although, yes, we've only seen them play standoff control once thus far within the group stages. It was pretty convincing when they did show up there. Of course, that being said, it was against Impunity, a team that hasn't really shown up within the group stages. We've seen them play this map in the past as well. Not a lot you can expect from Smart Omega in terms of changes. I think all of the strategy that's used out there on the battlefield thus far for control has been checking out on this map. The one that could perhaps be really torturous for DVK would be this Tunisia later on, as they'll have to deal with Whoopi Snipes.
Yeah, I mean, Search and Destroy is always going to be the bane for Dovik and Oblivion. So if they haven't worked on it, AJ, I don't think we can expect anything a lot from them to win off the series.
Already it's looking like a very tough fight for DVK. They need to pull out every single trick in the bag. Every single rotation on this Takeoff hardpoint matchup, they have to take the lead. They cannot allow Smart Omega to lead the reins at all. If they do, they'll just be playing into a complete slaying game. That being said, though, Smart Omega has got the exact same rate of wins as DVK has, a 50% win rate. Both teams have won and lost 3 matches each on this game mode.
Yep. So, I mean, I'm leaning towards Smart Omega here, but Dovik and Oblivion, once again, I've been seeing how they've been grinding. The work ethic is on. The question is, though, with all of their predictions, can they back it up now with executions, aka the gunfight, the way that they, initiate the timings as well? And it's all going to come down to that very factor that can make the difference. And, me and you talked about as well, and how it feels to compete in the top level of the competition. And most of the times, the gunfights are pretty equal, but where it makes a difference is the rotations, the strategies.
That will, of course, be a question as well, whether or not DVK can match up to Smart Omega when it comes to the gunfights department. The strategy-wise, I do agree with you as well. But at this point, DVK have proven to us that they know the maps, they know those rotations, they know the usual drill. the biggest of difference for DVK has thus far been not with the strategy department at all, but mainly with the gunfights department. We saw that weakness as they took the matchup against Broke Boys. We saw the exact same repetition of the scenario of gunfights being the main weakness of DVK in the matchup against West Point, as well as EZR Bookie. So against Smarter Mega, there's a high potential that just is that continuous point that is driven home as far as DVK is going to be ready to accept. But at the same time, it's not really a bad sort of message to accept, right? Because they know strategy-wise they will be able to work their way around. Mechanical skills, it just takes a little bit of time investment, as well as, of course, a little bit of dedication from the team members, which we know is there. I mean, we've seen the boys from Season 4. We see the hustle. We've seen improvement. But enough improvement to beat Smarter Mega is, of course, going to be the biggest question of the day that DVK needs to answer.
You know, the last time we got to see the run between DVK and, you know, also known as LF4 back then, between Smarter Mega and them, we got to see Smarter Mega waving their hands goodbye because they managed to, you know, send them off and take their chances away from the group stage as well. Maybe that rivalry, maybe that instance right there could be the fuel for them, you know, to make some turnarounds as well. And keep in mind, you know, not so long ago, we had an interview with Whoopi. He did make a call that they're going to 3-0 DVK Oblivion. So it's a pretty heated up rivalry here.
I mean, it really depends on how they use the heat from this rivalry, right? Whether they just keep all of this pent-up anger and make a couple of mistakes out there because of some ego challenges, or they have used that heat of the rivalry before this competition in itself to prepare for this one moment. So it really depends on how Team DVK has been taking the whole, I got kicked out by Smarter Mega, I want to make this comeback. It would be fantastic if they could execute the greatest of revenges here today and to put Smarter Mega in a position where Smarter Mega does not make it to the knockout stages. Of course, DVK makes their name right here in this competition. They will make, they'll stamp their name in the history books. Of course, DVK makes their name right here in this competition. They will make, they'll stamp their name in the history books of Call of Duty Mobile for Garena SMP for the rest of our lives. But I think it's a lot to ask. I don't think we've seen that quality from DVK just yet, unfortunately.
Not yet, but hey, you know, I'm open for changes once again. Can, quote unquote, Dovik in Oblivion send Omega down to the Oblivion, send them to Oblivion, or can Omega remain Omega? I mean, come on, man. I know.
I love it, Joe. I love all of your jokes, Warden, all the time.
I know.
Sometimes I recall them at night before I go to sleep, and I just laugh a little bit more before I close my eyes.
Well, we're about to go crazy, man.
Let's go. Our cameras are lagging once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We do apologize for that. We'll get that fixed in a little bit. But as things start off hot, it's going to be Kevs hopping on into the objective, backed up as well by Risky.
No, but Batman gets a crucial kill right there on top of the scaffolds. Now it's going to be extending here on towards the A parameter. He gets one, he gets two, actually. One more player to worry about here from the back lines, but Tin shuts him down. And in return, they don't really get any capitalization inside the hill.
Let's see if or not they can make some magic work here. They are taking the power positions, especially from the scaffolding area. A little bit of open timing to hop onto the hill, and that opportunity not wasted by Batman at all. Idra doesn't have an angle to work around with. Batman gets away, but Idra takes the pin from Nua. Wadu backs him up, and DVK holding onto the hill. Smarter Mega being forced off of it. A early rotation here could be set by Smarter Mega because they want the left-hand side of the map before P2.
Oh, but still, a very crucial hill here for Dovik and Oblivion. They've been winning most of the gunfights now at the end of it. And now Wadu finds a 2-spree for him. Gets an opener and makes the bleeding come through here for the side of Dovik and Oblivion. But yeah, in the process, Omega does win the rotation here for P2. The question is, though, can they hold their grounds in regards to the gunfights?
DVK in front, Smarter Mega fighting for it. And as anticipated, they've taken control of the left-hand side of the map already. At takeoff, all you need to do is just find a little bit of space from the left-hand side. Make good use of these operators if you do have them in the early game as well. And you can anticipate that being brought out by Risky Orton in a little bit. DVK, though, they fought their way well to keep this not one-sided.
And now they're going to try to wrap around here, get the spawns out of the way from Smarter Mega. And I don't exactly know what to call here for Smarter Mega. They've funneled themselves inside the stadium. No power precision whatsoever. And now the spawns will get flipped down. They get forced down to the bottom. And a pinch will ensue. Dovik and Oblivion, they get the break inside a hill.
That was just scrap time there for Smart Omega. Just trying to play for their lives. They are going to get slain, pushed to the opposite side of the map near generators. And by the time they rotate back in, they'll be given one opportunity, one solid one. Are they going to stop the bleeding? They find a breakthrough. Risky hops on in, switchblade slain out. But Smart Omega still manages to stop all of the points being raked up here by DVK. Early rotation set up by Smart Omega at the very same time. Smart maneuvers by the veterans.
Oh, this is such a butt-clenching run here for both ends of the spectrum. The pacing will stay the same. We're bound to see not a blowout at all here coming in for both ends of the spectrum. Now we get to see P3 opening up. Solidified defense here will be on for side of Smart Omega.
Yeah, 45 to 46, Smart Omega finding the break by the favorable spawns to the side of DVK. They fight out of it from the side of Generator. Smart Omega just trying for the kill just through their lives now, and I think this is going to be a losing fight if they don't find a flank around the middle of the map. DVK finding control, 36 more seconds to go.
Oh, Dovahkiin Oblivion, they get the break. So shockingly, Epoch gets on the spree on top, but Wookie shuts him down. Badman with an equalizer, looking to make the difference. Finds one, finds two. Gets a turnaround on the catch. They get the break for it now. Medical spawn on for Smart Omega.
Equalizer is equalizing the efforts of Smart Omega. Once again, not controlling the spawns at Generator seems to be costing Smart Omega a lot. By the time they do work their way around, still no control. Gods of RNG give that away to them. Final few points picked up by Risky, winning out a big gunfight as well. 4 more seconds. Smart Omega on the early rotation once again. 4v4. Let's see how DVK breaks it this time. I like the setup already. They are rotating from the side of this launch center. They want to take a pincer maneuver. Instant strike to Smart Omega.
The bag has been filled for the set of Dovahkiin Oblivion. The last time we saw the early rotation there was for P3 and Smart Omega. They were so solidified, but Dovahkiin Oblivion, they got the break inside the hill. Badman on the front line. Cav shuts him down. So far, the initial gunfights here. Smart Omega finally winning more consistent gunfights.
And this is what is expected out of the squad. The DVK has kept up with them thus far. One operator to play around with. Seep can find the investment, but Smart Omega winning it out. 30 more seconds to go. DVK needs to make a big decision. If that operator does come out, the players need to be in position to attack them from the mid angle as well. DVK, one more opportunity. Wadu opens things up. Risky response. DVK has the hill. One more player for the defense. Idra, can he stay alive? Badman says no. DVK, they're on the way back.
1 point for the punch down now, and if they ever get the remaining scrap time here, that's going to be enough for them to even things up before we head on to P1 once more. We'll be looking to get a few seconds off from the hill, but it's not going to matter at all. Dovahkiin Oblivion, Smart Omega tied up after they finish the first set of hard points.
And DVK in front by 1 point. This might just be doable, might be workable. Can DVK keep this up? Earlier on, not much of noise made here by Smart Omega against DVK in P1. Earlier, they did open up. Kevs this time holding on the hill once again. And things get heated, but DVK attacking from two sides at the same time. Beautiful break, beautiful hill grab.
Oh, looking like they have prepared so well here for this takeoff hard point. They know exactly what to do to zone things out here up in Smart Omega. And that's Smart Omega. They get forced down here, down to blue. So far, they are losing most of the gunfights. 50-50 battle we go. Player 4 from the side of Smart Omega, Risky, making the difference work out. And they get the break. They get the hill right back.
This is just super close. This is something that Smart Omega cannot risk at all. We saw the exact same game against Broke Boys, and towards the very few final seconds at Apocalypse, everything came raining down on Smart Omega. They lost a shocker of a hard point, and later on the series as well to the Broke Boys. DVK on route to do the exact same thing to Smart Omega. The way they're keeping up, the way they're winning out control of the map gives me this confidence now, Warden.
7-point discrepancy here. All in it. Dovahkiin Oblivion. So far, they get the spawns here. They got to deal with the 3 players here for Smart Omega. About to funnel things through here on the front line. Badman in front. Kev shuts him down. Pin as well, backing things up. And they want to go for the extensive push here. And they absolutely convert.
123 to 111. Smart Omega holding onto the hill without the anchor spawns on the left. This is hard point number 2, a la West Point Mamba Loking style. They're holding on to the points and they're sneaking away everything off of this V2 as well. Whoopi tried to hold the back lines, but sneaked in. A player on the side of DVK finds a perfect break, and Smart Omega wins it right back out. They do have the master spawns. 25 more seconds. One more opportunity for DVK to try for.
Oh, Aura swings in, gets the shot to connect, but not enough to get the kill. Still scrap time, very heated up. 2 players here from Smart Omega remains, and they're still looking to contest this one through. Epoch, Pat, and Wadu. Steve in front, they go for the clash, and so far Smart Omega still wins it.
Smart Omega waking up, man. 143 to 123. Just a 20-point lead means absolutely nothing in takeoff hardpoint. B3 can make the world of difference. BBK, early rotation. Smart Omega spawning from the left as well. If they slay out, get generators as well. Keep your eye on number 1 in blue. Kevs. Initial gunfights at control room is going to be key for this guy, but he's going to be sandwiched by 2 players. Wadu, on the other hand, keeping a good hold inside of Aurora. 5 versus 2 at the hard point now. A matter of seconds before Smart Omega takes it, but DVK has a good option here.
Oh, Kev's won the gunfight from the back lines, forcing the medical spawns now here for Dovik and Oblivion. And this is what you don't like to see from set of Dovik and Oblivion. Solidified defense now here for Omega. P3 is probably the strongest hill if ever they get to hold on to it, and they are absolutely doing so.
Oh, and DVK does not make the mistake that Smart Omega did. You see player number 3, Oro, long flank around. This is not risky at all. One good opportunity, one strike from the back should give it to them, but the timing is off. He goes down. A flop from DVK, and Smart Omega runs away with the majority of points, leaving them the 10 scrap. Early rotation into P4. DVK slowly losing grip of this match.
They gotta find a way to get their own money hill as well for them to even things up. As we get to see once more another rotation 1 here for Smart Omega, and that's gonna be P4 for you. So far, 10 is gonna get thrown out from the chase. 3 players remain here for defense Smart Omega, and they get forced down to the left side. 2 more to go. So far, it's gonna be Idra here winning most of his gunfights.
D-Fox was on the spree earlier on, but he got sorted out quickly. Smart Omega taking out the biggest stone in the side of their necks, and now playing a 3 on the spree outside. It's going to be the one and only Whoopi. Can he get more on the 3 spree already? Punishing these players who are trying to find that rotation around. Finally gets taken out. That opens up the kill for the side of DVK. Smart Omega has still got Idra in hand. He does have the war machine, but only gets 2. Wadu trades him out. Omega still has the